Have you ever had a struggle in your life that just seems to keep cropping up and causing other new problems in your life? I get it. My insomnia, depression, and anxiety still creep up on me every now and then. And in today's episode, I'm sharing a recent battle with insomnia on my most recent Wellness Wednesday chat. And again, I know it's Thursday today when I drop my podcasts, but that's when I do my Wellness Wednesday musings. And I'm sharing my most recent battle with insomnia and how I was able to overcome it and not go down the path of wallowing in self-pity. So I hope that you are able to glean something from today's episode, as well as some really amazing resources that I share that are also included in today's show notes. So enjoy the episode today, and I'll see you next week.
You're listening to Miss Style, Strength, and Grace with Deidre Murphy. This is your one-stop shop for style, fashion, health, and fitness. Deidre's passion is to help empower women to reach their fullest potential, both inside and out. Deidre and her guests will be discussing how to develop your style, health, and lifestyle hacks to energize your day and inspire you to keep reaching higher levels of success. Deidre is a professional fashion stylist, health guru, and Mrs. Washington 2017. It's time to get open and honest with Deidre.
Well, hello, everyone. It's Deidre Murphy, your personal fashion stylist, as well as host of Miss Style, Strength, and Grace. I'm coming at you from my office right now for Wellness Wednesday. And if you follow me on Instagram, I was kind of sharing about the things that I've been struggling with today. And I put it in the notes over on the side here, but I'm still struggling with insomnia. As most of you know, it's something that I've battled for a long time now. At my worst, I was only sleeping about 1 to 2 hours a night. And last night I had a battle with it. I was actually asleep by probably like 11:30, which is really good for me. Typically I fall asleep somewhere between like midnight and 1. So to fall asleep by 11:30, it was fantastic. And I thought, yes, I'm going to have a great night's sleep. Going to get up by 7 a.m. Like, my body doesn't do well on less than 8 hours of sleep. So I just was really looking forward to that. And my husband had a night where he wasn't sleeping so well. Like, he was sleeping, but he like does this like kind of like twerk, like twitch, not twerk, but like twitch thing sometimes when his body is a little bit restless, even though he's fast asleep. And it was enough to jolt me awake, and it was game over for the rest of the night. And that was only about 1 o'clock in the morning. So I didn't actually fall back asleep until almost 6 a.m. this morning, which then meant everything got pushed back. I turned off my alarm. I was like, forget it. I'm not going to do the things first thing in the morning that I promised myself I would do. And I'm going to let my body sleep as long as it can. And it ended up sleeping until about 10, which then meant everything was pushed back. But I woke up, and rather than just be angry and cry, because that's happened a lot of these types of mornings where I have insomnia and I just start to feel sorry for myself and worry about all the things that I didn't get done or now I can't do because I have a massive headache and a migraine and I'm just too darn tired. So rather than go that route, I woke up and did my positive affirmations in the morning and my Tony Robbins, what he calls priming opportunity in the morning, and did my thankfulness and just started saying appreciative thoughts and, hey, like, at least I'm alive, at least I'm awake, at least I can still physically do the things that I need to do for the most part. And so I went through the running list on my to-do list of things I needed to get done today, and some of them had to get crossed off. So, you know, it's all about putting those big rocks in. And I knew that now that everything else had been pushed back in my schedule, some of those smaller little sand pieces of rocks needed to go by the wayside and the big rocks needed to stay. And then I just needed to kind of focus on myself and my overall health today. So I was proud of the fact that I still got a workout in, got my leg day done and crushed it. And rather than doing some of the other small things that I have been like stressing out about, which has been leading to the sleeplessness and the insomnia, because I'm in the middle of a big launch right now. So if you don't follow me on the other outlets, I'm in the middle of launching my virtual styling program, which it launched this week. And the first 2 weeks of content are live, and I'm finishing up some of the just technical stuff on the back end, which is never my forte and never my area of expertise. So that's what's stressing me out, is all the computer techie stuff that I'm not good at. And anyway, so some of it I let go today. I was like, you know what? It's not going to happen today, and it is what it is. And originally I had a photo shoot scheduled for tonight in the wheat fields out by where we live, and I was contemplating trying to reschedule those. So I even contacted the farmer that owns the property, and I asked him when he was going to start harvesting the wheat, because I was thinking, well, maybe I have like one more week before the wheat is gone and I can photo shoot at a later date. And basically he told me that it's going to be gone by the end of the week. And that was the whole point of like setting up this photo shoot, was in this beautiful wheat kind of ethereal photo shoot vibe. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to continue and do it. So got ready, did my hair and makeup. I haven't done the shoot because it's going to be that kind of sunlit golden hour where the sun is setting. And it's just the perfect opportunity for that gorgeous glow in the evening and the light. So be staying tuned for behind the scenes on that, especially my Instagram stories, if you follow me there. And it's with Keely Bowen of Pieta Elegante. I've shot with her in the past and she does amazing work. So check her out if you get the opportunity. And I got groceries. So that was like a big little tiny win. Where we live, it takes me like an hour just to drive and go get groceries, let alone like actually shopping for them. So it can be like a 2-hour excursion just to go and get groceries. So did that, and just trying to focus on the positives and like put in the big rocks. And I started listening to an audiobook today called Girl, Wash Your Face. And it's been on my mind. I saw it in the Amazon Kindle bookstore a couple weeks ago, and then it recrossed my path like 2 days ago, and then somebody else posted about it today, and I was like, all right, fine, God, universe, you're telling me that I need to either read or listen to this book. So I downloaded the audiobook. I had some credits on Audible, and she's just been like speaking to my soul. Rachel Hollis is, I think, the author's name. And specifically, one of the chapters I listened to this morning was about seeing where your benchmarks are. And I know I'm going to make this relatable, I swear. But like, your body can only do what it's trained for in the past. So in the past, when I've had nights of sleeplessness and insomnia, my mental training was to just give up, don't do anything that day, stay in my pajamas all day, don't even like shower, and just wallow in my self-pity. And that's what I had trained myself to do in the past, versus these last, 4 and 5 years of pushing through, having to still do things on no sleep. It's trained myself to reach that new benchmark of like, you know what, I can push through. So for instance, last year at Mrs. America, one of the nights, it was 2 nights before my interview with judges, I had a night of no sleep, probably got like an hour of sleep that night. And rather than wallow in my self-pity, we still had rehearsals. I still had things to do the next day. I had to push through, make the best of it. And later that night, I crashed hard as a rock, and I got a full solid like 8 hours of sleep. And then I was so thankful for that, because that next day was my interview with judges. So I felt ready and refreshed to go into interviews on a full tank of gas, so to speak. So I was thankful for the fact that 2 nights prior, I had no sleep, because it prepped me to have sleep the night before my interview. And I think that's with anything in life. Like, we have trained ourselves, or we have prepped ourselves for whatever we're trying to overcome. So the fact that I've had these nights of no sleep, it trains me to push through, get done when I can, and let go of the little things. So I'm still looking forward to the photo shoot tonight and just getting done the big rocks. And tomorrow I'll work and hash out on my computer the tech stuff that I'm still trying to get done and accomplished and submitted to my webmaster, so that way she can meet her deadlines, I can meet my deadlines, and just get done what I can. And if it's not, like I said last week or 2 weeks ago, done is better than perfect. So keep in mind that as long as I get things entered and submitted, then that is okay. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, and I can always tweak things and grow later on. And to this book, The Girl, Wash Your Face by Rachel Hollis, she also talks about, just being grateful for things rather than negative about them happening. Like, rather than thinking of things happening to you, happening for you. So for instance, like, at Mrs. America, when I didn't sleep that one night, instead of thinking, oh, this is happening to me, I decided the next day to think, this is happening for me to set me up for a great night's sleep tonight, the night before my judge's interview the next day. So just keeping in mind those little things. And I've heard that topic before. I've heard that sentence before, thinking of things happening for you, not to you. It's actually part of the Tony Robbins priming exercise, where you do it in the morning and think about things that have happened, and it could be like a happenstance, and thinking about it in a positive way. I'm thinking this happened for me, not to me, even if it is something that we would typically see as a negative, turning it into a positive. And in the book, Rachel Hollis talks about how, a fire, it could be seen as obviously terrible for somebody who is experiencing it, but it could be an opportunity to slough off the old and start new and fresh. But it's also an opportunity because now that fireman and that whole fire force has a job, and they have something to be heroic for and to serve and provide. So it all depends on your perception. So keeping a positive perception of everything that happens, whether it is insomnia or a lack of, energy, or your kid does something that drives you bonkers, and instead of thinking like, why is this happening to me? Why is this child in my life? Why does my child have this personality? Like thinking like, okay, how is my child with this lovely personality training me to deal with difficult people later, or deal with difficult situations in a future happenstance, or teach me to be a better parent, or teach me to be more humble and graceful with my own children, and having more humility or patience with the people in my own life. I know I've learned a lot about patience, especially in the last year, and especially as Mrs. Washington last year, I learned a lot about, thinking about the difficult interactions with people, and rather than thinking like, well, why do I have to deal with this person, putting in a different perception and saying, I'm thankful that this person is this way because it's teaching me to deal with other difficult circumstances in the future that I might not know about yet. So that is my little Wellness Wednesday tonight. So thinking of things on the positive side and thinking this is happening for me, not to me. And I'm loving that book by Rachel Hollis. So if you haven't checked it out, go and either download it from Kindle or go buy it or listen to it on Audible. The great thing about Audible is you get credits based on your Amazon purchases, which I guess just shows how much I buy on Amazon, 2-day shipping. But anyway, check out her work. And as always, I will see you on Monday again for Mondays in the Mirror. And I love you all. Mwah!
Hey ladies, thanks for listening, and we hope you enjoyed today's episode. To help empower more women, please be a doll and rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast. For show notes and other free resources we mentioned today, go to stylebydeidre.com.